So, hey, we're here at GDC 2013, and we're with Dane from QuantumSquid. We're going to take a look at his action RPG. It's called Pylon, and it's in the early goings, but it's looking pretty cool so far. So, go ahead and show us what it's all about.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, this is our action RPG called Pylon. It's in the same vein as a Diablo, Torchlight, that kind of a game mechanic. Right now, I'm kind of walking around, kind of show you a little bit of the town. It's a virtual D-pad. We kind of considered a lot of different things in that virtual D-pad, and then you have your action items and whatnot. It's it's for all iOS, so it's iPad and iPhone and other platforms as well is going to be coming. So I'll kind of show you around, but fairly light on the story. Essentially, the backstory is that your main character is Jane, and she's kind of a mercenary, and she essentially goes and helps people gather artifacts. She happens to be in this particular town now, helping an old man, and the build you're seeing right now is essentially you'd call an alpha build, so it's pretty complete, but there are a few things you'll see. Some of the GUI, when we get to it, is a little bit unfinished, but we're going to be tweaking that. Okay. So this is the game world, and kind of wander around, and essentially there are these pylons that have been kind of dead to the world that this old man that she's working for knows the secret to make them get them unlocked. So that's kind of her plan. She's going to be going in and doing that. So I'll just take you into this section here. And for the sake of the demo, we have a few things kind of turned on, and I think I'm starting at level 1, so we'll just kind of see what there is. But so we have 4 different areas right now. A jungle area, we have a desert, we have kind of an indoor cave area, and then we have kind of the final area. Cool. We have breakables and whatnot. It's essentially similar things. People who are definitely into this game will find a lot of familiarities. A lot of loot drop. I want to get to some monsters here, and a lot of gold. So essentially, you're leveling up. Here's some characters. Some few light tweakings. You can see the gold drops are a little bit dark and stuff like that. So here we have a dropped item that is a common item, so we can just pick that. So it's a touch interface on that. And I'll just kind of move around here. Here's
look at that guy.
Monsters. So I may die here, and I'm not invincible, but I'll try to move it around.
You really stirred the pot right there.
Yeah, I did actually. I wanted around too much. Pop some potions here. So we have a couple unique things in the fact that our potion system is not something you can actually purchase. I leveled, so that helped me out a little bit.
Oh, cool.
I re-healed. Plus, these guys are a little bit lower than me now that I leveled, so I'll try to knock them out. But so our potion system is kind of unique in the fact that it regenerates whenever you play. So as long as you're fighting, it helps regenerate your potion. So you don't have to buy potions. Yeah. But when I go back to the town, I'll show you what we're doing with the potions. The potions actually end up becoming another ability. So right now, all they do is heal a certain percentage of my health. As you get into town and want to spend gold, there's about 12 or 14 different attributes the potion can have. So you can start tweaking your potions to, like, when you pop one, it'll stun the enemies, or it'll do AE damage, or it'll make you run fast for 10.
That's
10
interesting.
seconds.
That's a pretty cool idea.
So let me. I'm trying to get some. Well, here I'll just do the cheat button here and drop some loot here. So here we have a situation where I got some epics, purple and things like that. So now I can go ahead and again, our lighting you can see on this one is a little bit low. Let me wander around over here, get some other sections here. But fairly light on the story. It's not intended to go through a bunch of rich story. It's really about generating levels, about getting a lot of loot and a lot of. Like here's a treasure chest I'll go pick up. Ooh, that guy.
You got killed.
So let me go back to town just really quick here, and I'll show you some of the potion stuff that we're talking about. Actually, and I got some gear so I can go and equip it. So one of the unique features that we're doing is if I go to the potion old lady here, essentially you have this whole entire menu of abilities to upgrade your potions. So now as you want to spend, you can start to see, and we're going to tweak some of this a little bit, but right now I'm healing 30%. I have certain things, like if I want to rank up to Shockwave, so I can, I don't have too much gold because I haven't been playing that much, but here, I'll do this really quick, do a little cheat here.
Yeah, you cheater.
And I'll get some, I don't know. Again, the game is intended for not free to play at this point in time. Originally, we're not quite sure if it's going to be kind of a premium price point of $2.99, $4.99. We're actually toying with the idea of going straight 99 cents and just seeing how many people we can get. It does have an in-app option, but it's completely optional in the sense of hey, if I don't want to wait around and get gold, I can spend it if I want to. But it's not. We don't limit anything in the game based on any of those particular purchases.
Cool.
So. I'll go here real quick, and like say I want to increase my movement speed after using a potion, so now I can increase that for 40 seconds, or I can spend more gold to increase my healing capabilities or whatnot. But it's kind of a, let's just say, stun enemies when I use it, so I can upgrade this, I can pay the gold, and then I can keep upgrading it if I want to keep spending my points and saying, you know what, buy another second. So now I'm at 2 seconds, and you can start to see your potion effect. So what it really does is kind of let you tweak an ability that's kind of an all-purpose ability, but it's not overpowered. So getting into here, I did get some equipment. So it's a standard fair paper doll. Here's our character. She's got, some of these new things here. You can see that I picked up a new helmet. So she's going here, and I think I had a new sword here, and I'll drop some other stuff.
This all translates to the in-game avatar, all the changes.
Absolutely,
and stuff?
yeah.
That's a big deal with people,
Yeah, well, and then you see, and so what I'll do here in a second, I actually have another one where I'm kind of tweaked out, so I'll reload that here in a second. But, so the other cool system, so equipment is fairly standard. Our equipment in the game is, you see these boxes here, which I'll get to in a second. Our equipment in the game has some stats on it. So you have rarity levels of equipment. But it's not like a WoW or a Diablo or something like that where you have all these other inherent attributes. It's really designed to be cosmetic. We want it to be aesthetic so people can make the look of their character without ruining their stats. So they don't have to wear a clown suit if they don't want to. That's the key thing. And so what we did is we pulled all the stats into a gemming system. So now what we have is we have essentially these 3 gems, and this is again kind of we're working on the interface, but we have these 3 gems. So now I picked up 2 gems, a common gem of defense, which is in my defensive group. This is essentially my offensive group, and this is my stat group. So I can take this and I'll just start filling this out is my gemming system. So now if you look at my helmet, I essentially have a helmet with some of these stats on it. And pretty soon as I start filling out here, notice my helmet does not have an offensive and so on. So later on when I'll show you the other one or pop some free loot, we'll do it. So that's a unique system, I think, in games that we've played a lot of that allow the player to get the drops of the gear, but yet they can preserve their stats by, there's...
I like that.
Here's an example of all the different, here's the stats, basic stats, strength, dex, intelligence, vitality, life. But they all have a lot of elements to chances to stun, slow, and that was one of the big things we were fans of with Diablo, because the players of this type of game definitely want to have all those stats.
Oh, definitely,
So, okay, so let's go to, I'll just show you another level here before I pop out. So that was like the jungle. We have, here's kind of some desert area. So here's just another example of another, kind of a cool-looking area. And again, breakables are in this level as well. So let me get some levels here.
I like the enemies.
So I'll just do it real quick. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to level up a couple levels here. So then, and then I'm going to cheat again here by just popping some loot. This is just so that's the free loot. That's as if you got a lot of boss kills here. So let me. Unfortunately, I'm going to die if I don't get rid of this guy here. Actually, I'll just let myself die. Okay. So I'll get all this stuff here. So I'm just tapping all this stuff to pick it up. He's probably going to kill me because he's a lot higher level than me. So let me go in here. So now I got all this equipment. So let me go ahead and decide, well, I want a dual wield sword. So we have a lot of combinations. So you can dual wield, you can sword and board, you can two-hand, and everything has an effect on how fast it is and what it actually can do. Looks like I didn't get any gear except for I got 3 gloves.
Nice.
When I did the free loot. So. But anyway, you can see you start to take a different shape. And now I'm starting to get a clown suit kind of a situation. But in town, there's a, I think I got, it looks like I got some rings or something, but I'll just pop one of these over here. So now I have a lot more gems to start working with. So now you see I have vitality and strength. And so our rarity level of our gems are, a number of attributes. So your common has 1, your next level up rare has 2, and then so on and so forth. So when you get an epic, I don't think I got any epics. They have like 3 or 4.
Right.
And so we're just going to spec out the character. Once you get all your slots full, you have 6, 7 slots, then you start picking and choosing how you want to start to shape your build.
Right.
Do I want to go strength? Do I want to go int? Do I want to go dex? So if I go back to my abilities now I have some points to start doing my abilities. So everything is based on the key main stats. So your strength-based abilities will get modified or increase and become more powerful the more you put strength in. As you can start to see, my int's 41, my my strength is 81.
Yeah.
So my int, if I go and I know that in int there's some of the poisons and some of the heals. Well, my heal isn't going to be nearly as effective if I don't start pumping int into that. But I can use a heal if I want. So I can unlock this. I can assign it, and then again, we're going to have a lot more interface in here to help the people understand what's going on. So I want to go to like obliterate. Let's just go to obliterate. That's an area effect kind of thing. I'll assign that, and then I like charge. Charge is another one, a strength base, and then you have some other dex ones like backstab, which instantaneously kind of like a shadow strike or whatever it is. And okay, and then let me assign it to here. So now I got some. Oops. Did the wrong one here. You can also upgrade. See, I leveled myself up artificially.
Yeah.
So every time you level, you get an ability point. So you can choose to get one of everything, or you can choose to essentially,
max
upgrade
something out.
Yeah, and say, hey, I like the path that this is actually going. So I'm going to increase that. Let me assign this. Okay. So now I should be a little bit more effective in terms of. So if I want to use my.
Whoa, cool.
I can stun, I can do it. Now I'm doing a lot more
damage
than I was
I'd
before.
say.
So I can heal, and my heal isn't very effective because I haven't really upgraded it or whatnot, but my potion, the same kind of thing, and we're going to be tweaking some of that balance stuff.
Yeah.
Here's Obliterate, which is more of an AE kind of effect that goes. Each of the sections has 4 areas. There's about probably 5 to 6 hours of gameplay, maybe a little bit more in the first playthrough.
Okay.
But it's a similar vein as Diablo, where you have a difficulty level. It goes to Nightmare, and then you see new monsters and whatnot. Let me see if I can find an elite here. I don't want to get too far, even if I got artificially. So the system that we have adopted in terms of the abilities is a cooldown timer, as well as it takes energy for certain amounts, and the energy is always. It's like I just died, and it's going to cost me quite a bit too. But the energy builds just over time. So it's up to you, however you want to use it. We just didn't want to get a system where you constantly have to wait and get back your mana and get back things like that. We wanted to make it fairly quick, so it's definitely an action-y, kind of feel. So let me go back to town, and I'll just I can actually go. Oops, I can't go back to town on these. The other thing I want to show you as well is our base abilities. Is I can go with a strength based ability or dex based, or I can go to a fireball, which essentially your free one, doesn't cost you any energy, so you can essentially just use that if you want to. It's a lot weaker if you're going to use the fireball versus the shield. So let me go back to town, and then I can show you some.
It's neat how everything's pretty much built around that one button, huh? Like, I mean...
Yeah, you have your support abilities, like your heal or whatnot, but essentially we wanted to try to keep it fairly simple, but not to the point in time where you only had 2 buttons to do stuff, because you have a lot of ability.
But it's nice, it's not like a facsimile of a gamepad or something like that, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
It makes a little more sense being along the edge of the screen like that.
So here, if I wanted to, here's where you can start spending some gold. So if you want to reforge, your look, so I'll just, pick one here and start changing the look of it. This allows you to, and you'll see how the avatar itself is. I'm just doing this really quick here. I have an endless amount of gold, so I'm just doing it real quick. So I can see that I have kind of decked myself out into my my super gear, if you will. And again, this is all turned on for demo's sake.
Right.
So there's a lot of gear that you're going to be able to see and pick and tweak. And
that looks awesome.
She's I don't. Well, here's a a one-hander now.
Yeah.
So, I guess the last thing that I'd want to show you is that we haven't actually, it's not working very well now. Here, let me just go to another quick area and I can show it to you, and we can kind of wrap it up. I'm not sure how long. So this is like here's an example of the indoor kind of a cave area. But we have this ability called Consume that we're trying to perfect, but we think it's pretty awesome, in that it allows the player to kind of gamble item drops on the screen. So say you had a couple of rares and maybe an epic. If you use the Consume button, it's going to basically eat those up and then roll and give you a chance for a legendary item. So
that's awesome.
It's really one of those things where players have to say, well, do I want to get it to better or to get it to sell because I want the gold, or do I want to roll and take a chance? And then you could get something inferior. So you could have 1,000 gold worth of items. get something worth only 100 gold,
Yeah.
but you get a legendary that you can't get anywhere in the game except for the consumability.
I like that. That's a good concept.
It's kind of inconvenient. But anyway, here's another example of just an indoor area. Yeah. And any questions?
That's very cool.
No,
I don't think so. You've really kind of shown off a lot about it. And I guess when you plan on having it done?
We're looking for a summer release.
Summer?
That's where it's at. I would call this build alpha. We're fairly feature complete except for a few things like the consume and a couple of tweaks in the GUI and whatnot.
Sure.
We have the standard social elements. We are no plans right now for asynchronous kind of multiplayer. That's a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
But there are some social elements that we are likely going to get in the first couple of updates where if you choose, you can connect to a server, save your character stats, and have some either compare, show your friends, you know, hey, look at what I got, you know, this is my drops, or even a little mini stat battle, if you will.
That'd be
Just
cool.
something to kind of say, hey, you know, I've been playing this game a lot. I've really, you know, kind of farmed a lot of loot. And so at least it gets that social element of it, because we realize it's really important in you know, today's games, and it's what players want. And it's, you know, we're fans of it as well, but anyway,
I like that idea.
Hopefully the graphics, you know, hopefully that, you know, everything about it is.
I think it looks really good so far. So
here's an example of an elite, Jeevel Joppel.
That thing's crazy.
Yeah, it'll mess me up pretty quickly if I'm not, depending on what it does. So this guy has, much like again D3, it's got attributes that this guy's a runner, and as you go through in difficulty level, I'm just going to kill me, but as you go through the difficulty level, you're going to start getting these ones that have 3, and they're going to be teleporting, and so there's a lot of challenge to it. I can say if you really wanted to play it quite a bit. But anyway,
cool. Well, it looks awesome. So sometime this summer we can get our hands on Pylon, and it looks really great. So Dane, thanks for showing it off to us.
Absolutely, thank you.